I mean, disappointing finish for us. I mean, I like the fight that we had to be able to come back and take the lead, and then obviously the disappointment to, not finish the deal when we had a chance to do that. But I didn't think it was a super clean game, but probably by either side. But nevertheless, it was a competitive game. It looked like an early season game for sure with two good teams. And congratulations to UCI. Benny's team did good and came out on top.
Coach, something kind of off the beaten path here for a second. Third base umpire Steve Mattingly and you were talking a couple times early in the game. Was it something that your pitcher was doing? Is that what he was telling you?
Yeah, they're talking about points of emphasis on pitching and stuff like that. Yeah.
You mean like for a balk and stuff like that? Is that right?
Pitch, illegal pitch, box, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Just curious. And I remember probably, it was maybe even 3 years ago, that you told me that Hellman was injured at the time. I think it was when I went and saw you guys play. He was injured at the time. And I remember you telling me, you said, we got this guy here. If he gets himself straight, he's like got light tower power. And it's kind of showing itself today. I guess you're kind of glad to see that he's come out of a slump a little bit and got that big knock and almost won the game, I guess, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, that was the plan, right? And until it wasn't. But yeah, I mean, he had a really good swing on that. I think he's had some really good at-bats. Yesterday he had 5 at-bats and 3 of them were really good. He wasn't getting a lot to hit. And then the ball that he did get to hit, he hit off the top of the foul pole today. That was a really clutch swing. And he has tremendous talent. If anybody else in the country has as much power as Dom Hellman, I'd be surprised.
Your starting pitcher today, Colin Clark, obviously coming out of Irvine, California from Santa Margarita High School. Was the start today kind of him coming up to you saying, hey, Coach, UC Irvine's on the docket, I really want to pitch against them? Or is that just kind of the plan all along that he's kind of naturally fell into that spot today?
No, he's been pitching our game 2, basically, and so today was game 2.
What kind of feeling did you have for him going into today's game? Just what was your thought process going into the game? What kind of game did you think he was going to have?
He'd been throwing the ball pretty good, so far. A lot of our starters have been throwing the ball pretty good. But I just thought he'd be competitive and he'd keep us in the game for sure, and he did that. I thought the at bats that Irvine threw out there. I mean, they don't strike out, right? They don't strike out. They're a disciplined team. They're a well-coached team, and that's what you expect out of Irvine when you play them. You got to make pitches. If you can make pitches, you can get them out, but you got to make pitches to be able to do it. And when he did, he had a lot of success. Same thing with Gus Stoller or any of the pitchers. When they made their pitches, they got them out. But they're going to stress you. They're going to not chase out of the zone, or they're going to make you earn it.
Tell us a little bit more about Drew Smith. He's just been on such a heater, including here and including today, another good game. Just tell us a little bit more about him.
Well, I mean, he's a senior, and probably, if the truth be told, he probably would have wished that he wasn't here right now, and he had a chance to sign professionally. He didn't get the offers that he was looking for. He got some offers, and it just wasn't what he was wanting. And that's kind of a lucky thing for us. He's obviously a very talented player. He can play a lot of places out there in the field, and he can really hit, and probably his best attribute is his locker room ability. I mean, he's really good inside the clubhouse.
Coach, I want to know your thoughts on starting catcher Braden Jackson today. Obviously, one of the backup catcher for Oregon really showed a lot of maturity going up to his pitchers in really heated spots for them. What kind of your thoughts on him as he kind of makes his way up through the Oregon roster here for you?
Well, he's a super talented player now. He was the MVP on the USA team when he was 16 years old. He's a super talented player, big kid, and I was impressed. I think that's a good point. He did go out and kind of try to settle some guys down. They obviously were nervous, and he's got some age beyond his years for sure, and some maturity to him. He's a very talented player, and I assume that he's probably going to have a chance to represent our country in the future years.